has been such a joy to share these thoughts with you and to see you really taking them to heart, growing and learning. Very special. You are very special. I honor you and the fact that you came into this heavy density earth plane to learn, to grow, to co-create the Eden that earth is envisioned to have the potential to be. You were willing to step back from a much higher vibrational level. Let's call it the Garden of Eden, and move into a heavier density to practice free will, to raise your own vibration and that of the world around you, to teach love. We cannot teach love unless we do it consciously. There needs to be a catalyst that introduces contraction, discomfort, and then the free will choice to deal with that catalyst, either with anger and pulling everything to a lower vibration, or with love and raising the vibration, teaching love. You didn't have to do this work. You chose to. There are many ways to evolve. And this earth plane is both one of the most powerful for yourself and for the universe, and also one of the most challenging. You didn't have to come, but you allowed yourself to do so, chose to do so. And of course, once you came, you became caught up in the earth's karmic field, and then pulled along karmically, even then with free will. You are never forced, but karma can be resolved in different ways. Staying with it on the earth plane, working to not just to resolve the karma, but truly to live with and emit a vibration of love. It takes a lot of courage. For 30 years, I've been hearing one or another of you say, Aaron, it's too hard. Why did I come? You knew it was going to be hard. The beautiful thing for me is how well you are succeeding at what you are doing. So beautifully. I want to speak in general terms tonight, and also of the smaller picture. In the United States, you have your midterm elections in 2 weeks. I hear many of you expressing fear, concern, anger about what is happening politically. Many of you are getting out there to do work for the party of your choice. But so many of you are doing that work from a oppositional stance. We are right, they are wrong, we're going to beat them. I don't see a lot of deep listening. I don't see a lot of trying to understand how others are thinking, so much as trying to push your viewpoint on others. Nothing is ever manifest in that way. You hit a dead end. So you try very hard to make this happen or that happen. But you create an oppositional energy, two weaves blocking each other. If you could picture two tidal waves flowing at each other. Neither one has the power to push things in their direction, so they just explode. My talk tonight is not just about the midterm election, but about the whole of co-creation and manifestation. How you came into the earth plane literally to co-create. And what supports that co-creation, whether it is in politics, relationships, work, livelihood, health? What supports it? I'd like us to start by looking at your body energy. I want you to think of, let's use the present United States election. And for those of you who are online here, out of the United States, think of somebody in your own country, a political leader who brings up discomfort in you. So think of that political leader of whatever party. That person's policies that alienate you. What you would like to see happen politically in your country or city or state. But come back then to the image of this person, not the person who you want to see in charge, and the anger that his or her statements bring up. Allow the thought, I want this person out of office. No, there has to be intention. That intention is fine. But can you see, as you're going along with me here, the contraction of energy in your body? Can you feel that? Now let's try it from a different perspective. Picture this political leader, whoever he or she may be, as a 1-year-old, just beginning to toddle around the room to find his or her balance. Picture him or her accidentally knocking into a table and the lamp falling off and shattering. The angry parent saying, look what you did. Can you feel him or her recoil with shame and pain? Multiply that 100 times through the first 3 years of this child's life. a person who started off truly wanting to please others, having certain values which may not coincide with your values, pushed on him or her in those early years. And strong messages of shame and badness. See this now 3-year-old having knocked over yet another lamp, sitting and sobbing. Feel your desire to hold that baby, to draw him or her to you, and let him or her know you are not bad. But we do have a different viewpoint, that it's important to be a little bit careful around furniture, and you're capable of doing it. Help this child to find his or her strength, his or her beautiful attributes, and to feel truly happy about him or herself. It's hard to be angry at that baby, isn't it? He or she is trying so hard. But we do have different viewpoints, and it's fine that we have different viewpoints. Each human that you meet in your life has their own karma, their own life experiences that shaped them. And to people that are prideful, stubborn, confused, angry, sad, with feelings of shame or unworthiness, or ones who must be dominant and in control. As soon as we meet such a person with oppositionality, it's just 2 tidal waves. But when we can meet such a person and truly listen and find out who they are, begin to understand what shaped them. I'm not talking about becoming a therapist. Simply one human heart to another. Able to look at this person free of judgment. You still have the right to say no. But that which says no is not another tidal wave. It's a very different kind of force. The tidal wave will generally keep going until it plays itself out. If you dissipate your energy as a second tidal wave, you may temporarily stop the opposing tidal wave, but you lose all your energy too. And nothing happens, just crash. And then the energy feeds away to pick up again and come back and crash again. How can this tidal wave be stopped without your turning yourself into an opposing tidal wave? A tidal wave is consumed with power, and it's working on old energy, flowing, building up, building up. Love is very different. Love is not a tidal wave. Clearly, if you have a wall of water, many small points can't stop that wall of water. But, and it may be hard to understand this at first, if you break into that wall of water with 10,000 points of light, picture the wall of water broken up. It's no longer solid. It loses its cohesiveness. You, all of you together, and even you personally, are 10,000 points of light. You have the ability to address the tidal waves that come at you, whether it's in politics, or in relationship, or in work, with light, knowing yourselves as light, manifesting that light. And from my perspective, it potently reduces the power of the tidal wave. Yes, it will still sweep up onto the shore, but it doesn't have that behind it. It more just comes up and drops down. It's a very different kind of a movement. In order to greet catalyst in this way, as the 10,000 points of light, it is very important for you, number one, to know yourself as 10,000 points of light, to know this is the essence of you. And second, to know that the opposition is also light. No matter how much darkness there may be in that opposition, it is equally light. Which are you going to speak to? The darkness? No, hitting at the darkness, or the light, really seeing it, knowing it as light, and addressing the light. You may try thusly to address the light and feel you have not succeeded, that you simply cannot find anything of light in that other being. I beg of you to trust, no matter how dark the other being, light is there. This is the heart of my experience. Light is always there. This is no denial of the darkness, only a deep knowing of the beauty and radiance of the light and the choice to speak to that light. So you may address the situation from your own fear. And it is your fear that sees only the darkness in the other. Or you may address it from the light within you that can see the even very distant and diminished light in the other, inviting it forward. We have very few here in the room tonight. I was going to try an exercise and we won't be able to do it, but I want to share it with you, just in words. I was going to have one person be the invitee, and 3 or 4 or 5 people be the inviters. The invitee on one side of the room and the inviters on the other side of the room. I was going to ask the inviters to each take a place and then to close their eyes so they could not see what the other inviters were doing. They could not look with their eyes at the invitee, but they knew where that person would be sitting or standing. Your job is to get the invitee to come to you as opposed to one of the other inviters. How are you going to do that? I suppose you could dangle candy or a delicious cup of tea. You could stand up and adamantly say, I'm saying it gently. And was looking at him. Where do I want him to come to? He's behaving perfectly. Strange that Aaron, the requests he makes of good dog. And so you could stand and vigorously invite the person that way. You could threaten, if you don't come to me, you're going to be in trouble. You could simply sit on the floor and smile. You could think loving thoughts. Now, suppose you were a shy child, and these people were sitting across the room speaking to you in these ways. Which one do you think you would go to? Well, maybe the one holding candy, but maybe not. Do you think you would go to the one who was yelling at you, adamantly saying that you must come? Might you go to the one that just sits down on the floor and doesn't pay too much attention to you, but pulls out a toy? Opens their heart, is involved with their own project, but looks up occasionally and smiles. You're welcome, but not, you must join me. When we issue an invitation in this way from an open-hearted place, free of grasping and need, we find results. The ability to do that takes your deep knowing of yourself and the place of fear in you that says, what if I don't succeed? Coming back then to the elections briefly. Do you see the fear in yourself as you campaign for your candidates? What if I don't succeed? What if the other side wins? It's not very enticing to the other side, inviting them to come and look at what you're offering. There's so much fear. When you can truly trust your own vision, what you want to co-create, and simply unfold it and say, here it is. If you would like to participate, you're welcome. Then people don't feel threatened. And they're able to come and look and see what you are offering. It all comes back to watching the arising of fear, grasping, need to control in yourself, and finding the simultaneity, that which is not afraid, that which is deeply loving, and able to offer without need for the other to participate. I understand that the way that politics works in this country is that only one candidate will win and carry out his or her policies. But enough of if enough of you envision the beautiful world of light, of well-being for all, free of fear, then that is what you will manifest. And if enough of you envision a world where you must control and force others and win, then that is what you will manifest. It really is as simple as that. My blessings and love to you all, and thank you for being with us tonight.